You're excused. I really like this tune. Ugh. We don't use those words around here, Eraser. This is a Christian stream. This jam. I like this jam. Jam. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Ba-ba-da, ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba-da. Tony. Stu. Thank you for 75 months. Ooh, I'm going to replay that. Is that right? Wait, that's weird. It errored, and then it still... Wait, what? What did you do there, Nincodito? You've confused my brain so much. That is accurate. No, I know. It's just like seeing what would normally come out of Cobot come out of somebody just hurt me. Yeah. Nine Inch Nails cookie dough. You know, Trent, he did really well in the movie soundtrack business, but he's breaking into the baking space. That is very early cheese. So, I just need a little help testing some stuff. Thought I'd pop on. See if I could enlist you. Do they? Are they? Will they? So basically, this is going to be very similar to the type of testing stuff that I had done before for any of you who were there for that. Just going to be polls. Polls. And just, you know, vote. And just however you want. They will be pretty rapid. I might change that just for testing, but I also want to test kind of rapid fire polls as well. So, essentially, unless I say like I'm looking for a specific outcome, just vote randomly or however you feel like. I mean, if you want to try to create situations, you can. I don't care. And then the other thing to know is it's much easier to vote just doing /vote space and then 1 through 5, whichever one you want to vote for. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. That way you don't have to bother with the GUI. Because it is kind of annoying and fiddly to mess with, right? You have to open it up and then you have to find, you know, blah, blah. So that's it. That's what's going to be happening here. Well, once you've done it once, I think you can just do up for history, right? Does Twitch chat have that? Or do I live in a world of only history-based applications? It doesn't have that? Oh, no. My bad. Yeah, Chatty does. I imagine most things do. I guess Twitch probably doesn't have that because it would be Like, it's one of those things where you would initially you would think, oh, of course we got to have that. And then you would think, oh, but that would make spamming very easy. But then on the other hand, they have the thing where like you can't post the exact same message more than so many times in under 30 seconds or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to start hitting you with polls. Here we go. Very nice, very nice. Good spread of votes there. Let me take a look at the data. Ah. Weird. Very weird. Is this right? Wait a minute. How's that happening? What? How is that happening? What? Hold on. Well, so as you might expect, a very simple thing that you need to do if you have like more than two possible votes, right? If you have two possible votes, it's just a 50-50 and it's really easy to do whatever you need to do with that, right? If you need to check for a tie, you just check if they're equal. If they're not equal, you just take them on the tire and boom, you've basically, your figuring out of your results is brain dead simple. Anything outside of that, and you've got, you got to do a little bit more. You got to do some sorting and figuring stuff out, right? What's confused me here is I'm getting the results, and then I was doing a sort of restructuring step because I need to relate these to other things. But my restructuring step was resulting in a sorted, like an already sorted array, like by vote count, which doesn't make sense because I wasn't sorting it. I wasn't even trying to sort it. So I have to check something else. Something went wrong. I mean, it's cool that it's sorted, but it's not cool that I don't know why it's sorted, which means that I don't know that it'll always be sorted, etc., etc., etc. I don't know how I accidentally did it. It doesn't make any sense. I'm just stepping through the results. No, it can't be. No, because like if we look at the results that you guys gave me, test 1 was 6, test 2 was 5, test 3 was 6, test 4 was 9, and test 5 was 3. So that's very random, right? That's nowhere near sorted. And then I'm basically taking that array and stepping through it, and I'm just basically trying to associate the indexes before I sort, right? So that I can relate that resulting sorted situation back to whatever the fuck else I'm going to do. No, it doesn't sort it for me. I just told you the exact order that it gives it back to me. It gives it back to you in the order that they were handed to Twitch. In other words, the order that you see in the poll when it appears on the screen. Yeah, I'm doing JavaScript stuff just because it's very accessible with various different things that I'm using. It's just like, it's kind of the perfect glue to bind all this together. I'm actually not a TypeScripter yet. So anyway, it's giving them back to me in the order, the literal order, okay? I mean, I suppose I could just sort that. No, because I don't have a relating. I would lose the sense of like which is what. So anyway, I restructure it into vote index, votes index, votes index. That kind of restructuring should not have sorted the list. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I have a sort after that, and I'm somehow wondering if like maybe there was a race condition and like what was being reported out. Well, anyway, there's gonna be another poll here, so please vote. Vote now. I mean, I absolutely didn't write a sort function. Okay, so we got 4, 5, 4, 4, 2. Okay. I think it was a race condition. Strangely. Because now it's after the restructure, it's coming out as I expect. 4, 5, 4, 4, 2. And the indexes are in order. So I guess that's weird. I was logging out the restructured array, then sorting it, and then logging that out. But I guess it sorted the array before the logging could happen, even though the order of operations in the code was before, like after the logging. It's that doesn't make any sense, right? Like that's a really weird race condition. But there you go. You got 6, 5, 5, 4, 2. I never really did address. Okay, well, the final results I got from Twitch were 4, 5, 4, 4, 2. Exactly what I'm seeing here. So I think you are also seeing race conditions where this is just going to happen, where the GUI on Twitch, if you try to snipe votes, the likelihood is that your vote is just going to be lost. Because on the back end or whatever, Twitch has already ended the poll. So you're just basically seeing client-side stuff. I mean, I don't know. Ask Twitch. But my results are accurate to all I can see. No, technically they're not, I guess. I see why. So the reason is okay, so Twitch, I'm asking for updates. So with the vent sub, there's poll progress, poll end completed, and then poll end archived. So what actually is happening, and I missed this initially, so technically you're right, Fox, is poll end is just like way later. And I don't really want to wait for it. But poll end here does show more votes. It shows 55462 versus 45442. I'm going to do another one and just try to get a sense of the amount of time that passes before that comes through. I could change my stuff, though, to wait for that to come in before acting. Well, I definitely don't want people's interactions to be like lost, because that's frustrating. Okay, so poll is up. We're getting results. Results. Okay. Poll should have ended. And then we got poll end. Okay. I don't know. I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. And this time, poll end and poll progress agree, but they don't always agree. So I guess snipe votes are cleaned up or caught by Twitch before it issues poll end. I don't know why that's not part of just poll progress. You got 66544. Did you track these in the correct order, sir? Because it's 56464. Oh, it sorts it. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. It sorted it for you. Yes. That makes sense. On my end, I see no sort. Okay. Twitch doesn't give them to me sorted. So I was seeing them in the actual order of like test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5. No, you're good. I'm just saying that's why there was a discrepancy there. No, that would be really bad if Twitch did that. Because then you would lose all sanity in terms of the data. There's nothing that you can send to Twitch or get back from Twitch that relates the poll options and the results to anything. You have to maintain that on your end. So therefore, the only thing that you have to maintain that relationship end to end are the indexes. Well, it does. Okay, I lied. It does. I just don't. I consider that brittle, and I guess I don't have to. I consider that brittle for some reason, but it really, I guess, isn't. I could just match the strings because they should match. They're not changing from when I sent them to when I get them back. And so I'm probably just creating more work for myself. I don't know why I think that way. I think I feel like the indexes are more of like a solid thing to grab onto than the string. But I mean, it does have it. I just don't consider stuff like strings like that, except in certain cases, to be like hard data. Probably because strings are often like mutable versus, bools or indexes or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah. Well, actually, I think it's because sometimes not very, right? Like, I think there's a lot of systems where weird stuff can happen to strings, where you could feed in a string that has varying case, and then get back a string that doesn't have varying case, and then those strings aren't equal anymore. That sort of thing. Yeah. No, I could absolutely use the strings in this case. Whether that makes any difference here is an open question. In terms of how I've written this, probably not really. Anyway, when you've got more than 2 results in a poll, you can't. It's more difficult to work out ties and what the winners are and stuff. You have to basically, you can't just do this coin toss type situation. You have to, first of all, determine if there are ties, or really determine the things that aren't tied. So you sort, you check to see what's the highest value, And then you get rid of anything that's not equal to the highest value. That should leave the remaining values, which will either be 1 or n elements that are equivalent. And then you can shuffle those to pick a winner. Ugh, that's horrific. I don't understand the shit that people do to passwords. I presume that there must just be some platforms or frameworks that people use that have like no user input sanitation or something, or they just don't know how to do it, and therefore, like, if you put anything that's like possibly a symbol that's part of the programming language, that they just filter that. Like passwords that don't allow symbols is madness to me. Or sometimes the insane restrictions on character count. Like, what century is this? Oh God, yeah. The character restriction thing drives me fucking insane. I like how you both said the same thing. That's great and awful. Like, it's very frustrating for the way that I handle passwords, and I think probably a lot of those of us who think this way, probably many programmers do this, but I use a password manager, and all of my passwords are insane, and none of them are the same, and I just want to use generated insane passwords all the time for everything. And when I encounter a fucking site that doesn't, to where I have to basically turn off all the good shit, and it forces me to use a dumbass password, it pisses me off. Especially because it's like, the reason given is, this is for better security. Like, absolutely it isn't. This is not more secure. This is so much worse. Oh, I max out my passwords. I have many passwords that are definitely in excess of like 40, 50, 60 characters. I mean, it doesn't matter. Any number really is fine because I don't have to memorize them. I would do that if I felt like, if I used like 5 sites, I would do that. I would do the phrase approach. But the thing is, I don't. I'm not going to remember 50, 100, 200 different phrase-based passwords. So that strikes me as a pointless endeavor. Woof. Yeah, I probably have quite a lot myself. Hold on a second. Where am I at now? I'm about in the same territory. Really close. 337. Oh my God, that is the worst thing. I've encountered this far too many fucking times. Yo, are you both the same wolf? Ice Cold Wolf and Lone Wolf, and thank you both for 52 months? You both in the same pack? There's an ice cold wolf and a lone wolf ant inside me, and they're always fighting for supremacy. Um, Now the worst thing that I feel like I ever encounter with goddamn password bullshit on websites are those ones where it lets you put in fucking whatever, but then it trims the extra characters off. What the fuck? What in the fucking world? Like, how do you fuck up that hard? That just, like, that means you've changed the password the person entered and they have no idea where you drew the line, where you cut the end off of it. So they just can't get in. I've encountered this more than once, Wamasi. Where it just shaves the end of the password off. And it's just like, well, I don't know what you fucking did. I did manage once to figure out what the password was because it was suspicious, right? It was a very specific number of dots. They were showing a dot for every character, which not every password field does, but theirs did. And I realized, like, oh, this is literally the number of characters. So then I was able to work out, like, okay, so it's this portion of my password, but what the fuck? Oh, yeah, the ones that don't let you paste. Why? Why? What is that stopping? That is the reason that anybody would do that is because they think that it's gonna stop bots, like it's bot protection. But that is the most dumb bullshit. Does not work bot protection because there's other ways to inject. It just makes it difficult for humans. That's all that does. It's not. It's doing fuck all to stop bots. Oh no! What in the world? What in the fucking world? What are they thinking? That's, oh god. Stuff like this makes me feel like kind of okay about the fact that I always think of myself as like like I've said many times before, I don't think of myself as a programmer. But clearly I do know how to program. But like where I lack confidence is in I don't know the best algorithmic approach to every problem, and sometimes I feel like I write stuff that's really stupid and I'm afraid of anybody seeing what I've done. But then sometimes I hear about shit like this and I think, you know what? Simple, direct approaches to problems are probably the smarter way to go. even if it's not the most elegantly written, it's still at least intelligent enough to know not to do that. Like forcing your own keyboard is such insane overthinking and probably nonsensical in terms of like not actually really doing anything of value other than making it hard for, again, the humans that are involved. Oh my god, I have to see this. It's just like I imagined. What were they fucking thinking? How secure do you suppose this is? How good do you think that is? In terms of like what's the value proposition here, right? Versus just sane methods of approaching this problem. Yeah, it's not even it's not even a fucking QWERTY layout. It's just madness. Why are the numbers in random fucking well, you know what? You know why? because they're thinking, well, the bot might be programmed based off of a standard keyboard layout. Like, why would a bot care? It can just recognize the character. It can just look for the character. Like, but someone could just build a bot specifically for this interface. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you make your shit this narrow, it's pretty easy to just target it. Isn't it? Isn't it easier to target something like this? That's an excellent next step to making this vastly worse, Corey. You nailed the next worst thing you could do here. Yeah, exactly, Jake. Exactly. Jesus. Ah, yes. There's a whole branch of development that is actually just solely based off of RuneScape. It's ROP, RuneScape oriented programming. Step 1, import RuneScape. Export default RuneScape. But yeah, thank you. This encourages me to continue in my endeavors, imperfect though they may be. Yes. This is, you guys are actually my password cracking bot. We're doing it in 5-character batches. There's 3,645 steps. But in the end, it's actually a more powerful cracking system than an entire data server. Must go faster. So anyway, so I figured out my weird race condition. I've been continually throwing myself down the stairs of figuring out JavaScript stuff that I just never use. Because believe it or not, front-end web dev does not reach to every far corner of JavaScript's capabilities. At least not the stuff that I do on a regular basis. I'm honestly fairly language agnostic because syntactically, you know, most mainstream languages post C, C++ are kind of samey with very negligible differences that don't super matter, or like they're technical differences. So it's more needs based, not so much like, yeah. Uh, God, it's been a long time since I fucked around with Python. It's pretty different, I guess. Yeah. I'm not super up to speed on programming language history, but I think most things are kind of C based in their structure, aren't they? That's sort of like the majority cloud of languages kind of derive their syntactic basis from C. Obviously, there are exceptions to that. Yeah. And then they have their weird quirks. Everyone's favorite JavaScript quirk. How many equals do I need? No type safety. Actually, just being real weird about types. JavaScript is just trying so hard to be helpful and everyone's mad. JavaScript's just like, well, it really seemed like you wanted a string, and so I just gave you, I thought it was, I don't know. I mean, you wrote it this way. And everyone's like, what the fuck? Poor JavaScript. It only had it only was like 3 days to get written. And everyone's like, why aren't you the best? Hey, Lindley, thank you for those biddies. Yeah. I mean, the problems with it are obvious. I'm absolutely not defending JavaScript here. I'm just joking around. But I've said this before. My opinion is I don't really love putting a flag and stuff. I mean, I have preferences, but I much prefer to take the view of use the tool that like offers the least resistance and you just acknowledge the quirks and do the best you can. Just embrace what you're working with, you know. You got to get shit done. And I think that's just because like I've been in a lot of sort of what I kind of call like commando programming type situations where it's just like I'm being told to do things and I've got to just do the things however I can. And after enough of that, you just start to like, fuck it, whatever. I'll do what I gotta do. Do you mean tools like tools or tools like fucking tools? I have noticed that everyone seems to hate MATLAB. And I've stopped very early on in the world of math, so I never really had a any reason to ever even look at it. One thing I am becoming one language I'm becoming very interested in learning more about is Rust because it seems like there's been a lot of, I mean, it's probably sort of a fad type situation going on right now where people are just like, kind of like people were with Python a decade ago. Remember that? Remember when everyone was like, Python is the answer. We have arrived. And then unexpectedly, somehow everyone was brainwashed and started saying, JavaScript is the answer. We have arrived. Very unexpectedly. I feel like JavaScript has had the weirdest life cycle of any language, except maybe the really, really early languages that have had this. Yeah, I don't. What's going on? This is not. Sometimes, man, pretzel stations are just. You don't know what you're gonna fucking get. I'm sorry this has happened. Because I mean, if you look at JavaScript, it started hated, and it got more hated, and then it had this insane, like the action script divergence or whatever. There's been multiple weird divergences, action script and coffee script, whatever, and then I think I'm missing actually a big one. What am I forgetting? And then it swung back around to becoming the language. You know what I mean? Like, we decided to base humanity on JavaScript something like 5 to 10 years ago. Very unexpectedly. Oh, well, they're not the same language. The reason that JavaScript is called JavaScript is because before JavaScript, if you wanted to do dynamic, like in the browser stuff, you needed to do Java applets. So that's the relationship in the names. They called it JavaScript to basically attack Java applets. It's like set them up as direct competitors. It actually initially had a different name. It might have had a couple of different names before it got to that, but that was the reason. But yeah, totally no other relationship. They are not the same. This fucks people up all the time. Java is a much more traditional language. Java's fine. It's whatever. But have you heard of Scala? Or sorry, Scala? The window of time when people thought Scala was going to be like the biggest, hugest thing, and boy, that was a little tiny window. Now Scala is like, what's that? But I'm basically kind of cutting my teeth with like baby game dev stuff, just using JavaScript because it's convenient for me and there's no barriers to entry. You know what I'm saying? Other than my limited knowledge in approaches to various different aspects of game dev or approaches to problems algorithmically. So I'm just sort of learning lots of little things, and I can test them very quickly and use them, apply them very quickly if I use JavaScript. But I want to sort of graduate out of this into something else. And I'm sort of considering, like, where do I want to go with this? I'm kind of maybe leaning towards what is the fucking thing? There's a little, it's like the little game engine that could. It's C#, not Unity though. It's the little robot one. Is it Godot? I kept thinking GoBot, and I'm like, no, that's knockoff Transformers from the 80s. But yeah, probably Godot might be the next direction I go. I have no C experience, but from what I understand, again, like I've said, it's like it should just be sort of syntactic differences, and I just need to like probably do some tutorials to get comfortable with it and then dive in. I think it's the patterns that are more important to learn. It's the algorithms, the patterns, the principles, and then I should be able to jump to other things. Well, the reason so C sharp is fairly widely used. There's definitely an argument to be made when making such choices that you have to consider beyond like your own comfort, perfection, because like obviously C++ is sort of like the language. It's the most performant, blah blah blah. It's what like at the bottom. If you pull everything else away, it's always C++. But C++ is pretty fucking heavy duty. But like widespread use. Okay, well, look, I mean, I'm not everything. I don't know. I don't know fucking everything. But my point, my more important point on this is just that like C sharp, for instance, is used pretty widely in game dev. It's used in Unity. It's used in Godot, and I'm sure others. I'm not sure what I think Unreal is C++. Not totally sure on that one. I think it is. So there's going to be more information available. Okay, it has the most performant potential is what I mean. I'm not saying that it magically just is no matter what you do. Obviously, if you do it badly, then it will be bad. But work with me here. You know what I'm driving at. So yeah, because like one of the problems I had when I was doing, I did experiment with game dev stuff in Python a while back, quite a while back, and one of the problems I had there is it was really fucking hard to find anything. It's, you know, like I learned by looking stuff up, looking for tutorials, watching videos, listening to, you know, people talk about stuff or looking at examples. And there was just like fucking nothing. So that's a big factor for me is like I need to find things where like I can have some paths to learn new stuff. Yeah, I mean like that was my experience with Unity was that I didn't really have to write any code because a lot of the framework provides all the stuff you need and you just basically put the puzzle pieces together. But for my own particular interests, I'm actually interested in learning more deeply the patterns and algorithms and so forth, the approaches to various different little problems. And a lot of the ideas I have that I want to experiment with or dig into are very custom, you know? So I want to know the basic building blocks so that I can play with that stuff. But yeah,
So the rationale for why I'm doing stuff in JavaScript currently is just I can just mess with those ideas and concepts and things, and it would translate basically to any other language that I might try to do stuff in. The concepts, that sort of thing, and I don't have to fuck around with learning the syntax or whatever. Like I can just get down to it. Anyway, boy, we went off course for a bit. I want to see if I can achieve what I was talking about doing, which is we're gonna sort these results. We're gonna isolate the winners. Well, we're gonna isolate ties and then pick a winner. So just a moment while I make some changes. Or additions, really. I just hadn't even written this yet. Does JavaScript have like a last function for arrays? I don't recall. I mean, I can do it with just like length -1, but I do like brevity. Now, is that TypeScripty? Because I'm not currently doing TypeScripty stuff. Oh, okay, it's in the browser. All right. I mean, I'll try it. Fuck it. I like that. .at. That's pretty elegant. Let's see if that works. And then index 1. Let's just see what we get out of that. Okay, should be a poll coming at you. Please vote. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. As soon as I asked it, I felt like I'm probably wrong here. Fox, thank you for the bits. Okay. Haha. That's not right. Oh. Wrong index. But the @ does work, so thank you. Thank you, Zig. That's a nice little enhancement. You have to go find every place that I used length -1. Okay, yeah. So what I got back was 2, which was actually the index of the winning result. Basically, I had reversed it in my mind. But now that should be fixed. So there should be another poll here in a moment. I am in browser. I'm in the browser. I'm not doing this thing I'm working on is not node based or anything like that. Yep, zero based. Although in this case it wasn't an off by 1. It was that I forgot which index the number I was looking for is actually on. I thought it was the second one, not the first one. Ah, cool. Good to know. Thank you. Okay, cool. That works. So our top result was 7 on test 2. Beautiful. So now, but that's just our vote max. We need to check and make sure that that's the only one. So, What? Pretzel, what are you doing? I said no frogs. Specifically, I ticked that box. Instrumental only, no frogs. Actually, the song rocks. Just kidding. Well, Zick, you see, you hadn't noticed that Nincodito was doing the API manually, so I figured I'd make it a little bit more. I'm assuming that Pretzel just has like a constantly shifting API. Because this happens with such regularity that I don't even understand what the heck's going on. Oh. Gotcha. Also, I love that this song is called Frug. Okay. Results. Right. If results, votes, less than vote max. What a good song. I might have to give this one a back-to-back. Results dot pop. This index. Right? Maybe. We'll see. Oh, buddy. It got better somehow. How did it get better? It's so weird. Okay, there should be a poll. Please vote. Remember, you can do /vote space number if you would like to vote more easily. Oh no, Zick. What did I do wrong? It's not correct. How did this happen? Because we should have just had test 1, or sorry, test 2. How did I do this wrong? Well, the answer to that is more logging. Oh, wait. I fucking forgot about the poll end problem. No, that shouldn't be a problem. So how did, okay. I came out of it with like absolutely not the right answer whatsoever. So let's revisit this. We sorted. Ay. Okay, that's a bug. You know, I tried not to put any thought into how I was sorting this, and that's come back to bite me. That's what's happened here. So it was sorting by both indexes, and or something else. No, this is a wildlife preserve, Mal. For ghosts. Zick, you killed their whole API. Imagine if it had a shared rate limit and you and you used it up. And all of Pretzel just goes down. Nice, Paul. That rocks. Oh no. I might have to learn mapping. Reduce, huh? I don't know. Oh. Ah. Okay. Reduce might be the answer. Maybe. Hi, Dino. Have a good one. Okay, so instead of just doing a dumb sort, let's not do dumb sort. How about that? So we'll do. This is in the chiptunes playlist. Just wanted to point that out. Uh, in fact, I could skip this restructuring maybe. Maybe? Hmm. Well, I don't want to hurt myself here. Hold on. Is that what I want to do? Oh. I see what's happening here. Well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I am not a speedy coder. I'm a slow coder. Okay, there should be a poll. Please vote. Fitty Cow, thank you for 50 months. It's finally happened. Oh. I am error. Cannot set properties of undefined. Ass. Okay, let's not do it that way then. Let's do it this way. Okay, another poll coming at you. What? How did I do this wrong? What am I doing wrong here? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Another poll coming at you. Any second now. Hmm. Another poll coming. I'm gonna have to resolve this end poll thing as well. I need to rethink something here. Something's going very wrong. What am I doing wrong? Let's comment this out as well. And Yes. Lord Terranix, thank you for the biddies. Okay, another poll coming up. Yeah, as Trin said. More complicated data than I supported before. Okay. This didn't work. Another poll coming up. A 5-way poll would not help me a whole lot here. A 5-way tie, I mean. Clearly, it's always a 5-way poll. Wow, this is so much worse. Boy, I should not have tried this. Let's look at this example again. Oh boy, everything leads back to reduce over and over again. Which I don't really understand. Sure, fire away. The data looks like this. Hold on. Hey, sorry, I started chatting with Nakomi. No, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. But yeah, so I just was doing this wrong. Is basically where we're at. So I'm gonna go back to step 1 here. I just have results. Let's see what we get if I do this. So poll coming up again. Okay. Now we're going to
Take those. Okay. Another poll coming right up. Sweet. Okay. All right. Yeah, so definitely was hitting a overthinking this type situation. Maybe. Another poll is about to happen. Nah, we will be scratting tonight. We'll be continuing Shadows of Rose. Okay, this did not work. Why? Oh. Duh. I am a simple idiot. Well, or am I? What the heck happened here? Why did this happen? I need more logging. No, I'm doing a bit more than that, Ipha. And that's part of it, but I'm also I have to resolve ties. Please vote.
What the fuck? Why did that happen? That shouldn't, that's not, how is this possible? Yes, I want to pick a random winner from the ties. If I take whatever the top element is, then when there are ties, it'll always be that. Which doesn't feel to me like a great resolution of a tie. Yeah, exactly what Nincodito's saying. Oh, boy, I am right. Okay. Jeez. What am I thinking? Okay, another poll coming up. What the fuck? What the? What in the frig? I'm already determining what the highest vote number is. All I'm trying to do now, and I don't, I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing this wrong, is eliminate the ones that are not equivalent to that maximum vote. I'm getting a result right now that I just absolutely don't understand. We'll try this instead. Maybe. Okay, another poll coming up. Yeah, it's already been parsed. That's not the issue. This is some probably pretty obvious thing that I'm just like I keep looking at it and not recognizing what I'm doing wrong. I'm working on it though. Basically, I'm now trying to like go through the results, compare the vote count to the max vote, and then reject the ones that are what the fuck? Okay, so we have a three-way, no, not even a three-way tie. What in the world is wrong with this? I clone the array. Probably not necessary to be honest, but that's what I'm doing. Just to be explicit. I for each the clone. For each one, I say it's the number of votes not equal to vote max. If so, pop that index. Well, that's why I cloned the array though, so I could do it to the array that's not being for eached. My weird result that I got is it just popped everything except for the very first one. And I just don't know why. I'm trying to understand why. I need to look at what's actually getting through the if conditional here. I could do that, but that doesn't seem to be the problem. What seems to be the problem is not that. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm working it out. Another poll coming up. Should be. I'm doing a spread to do the clone. Okay, so we had 2, 2, 3, 4, 4. Thank you. This truly is bizarre what's happening. I really don't understand it. Here's what I'm seeing, and this is why I'm having so much confusion, all right? Let me just explain. Don't worry about the difference in the vote counts right now. What I'm getting is essentially just my source of truth at the moment. I'm getting 2, 4, 4, 3, 2. Okay? So test 2 and test 3 should be the result I get because they are both equal to vote max, which is 4. Okay? So I loop through the clone. It looks at test 1. That has 2 votes. That's less than vote max. So it pops that index from results, the original array. And that index is 0. So it should pop index 0. Oh, God fucking damn it. I really am stupid. I really am fucking stupid sometimes. Because every single time I pop them off, it changes the original array. And therefore the indexes. And there we go. Duh, 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 duh. Well, the for each index is not changing. That's the, yeah. That was the wrong way to do that. Yeah. I see. I said it was going to be something obvious that I was just like looking directly at and not recognizing the problem. Okay, yeah, let's go with the build a new array approach instead. That's going to make a lot more sense to the old brain. Okay, so make a new array called winners. Nothing but winners here. And if it's equal to vote max, push results. Hurrah. Hooray. It's pretty easy. Much easier approach. Let's test it. Poll coming up. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I just don't have any familiarity with filter. um, did the poll not work? What in the world? How did I? Oh my god. Fucking dumb. I pushed the winners back into the original array. Like how? All right, another poll coming up. I know. I don't know. I don't know how I missed that, but here we are. Um. Okay, so that technically worked, except for did you guys get a poll? What the fuck? Um. What the fuck has gone wrong now? That doesn't make any fucking sense. What? Something outside of this has gone vastly wrong. Like, I didn't get any results back. What did I do? Why is this undefined? Okay, I severely broke something. Like, the data is going out malformed, but I didn't touch that, or I didn't think I touched that, but I must have. I must have fucked it up somehow. But I was nowhere around that. What the fuck? I'm gonna try another here. Okay. I think I've managed to restore sanity on that front. Okay, so this should be the first one that actually works the way it's supposed to. Results.filter. Result votes equals max count. That is pretty nice. I do love a good one-liner. I'll put that in here as a comment. And then try it after I get just back to sanity here. Thank you for that. Let's see. So we got 00552. And I've got the two winners with the correct number of votes. Awesome. Let's try True Geek's solution. Test 5 should be the winner. All right. Yeah, I think the next things to test would be I'd like at least one of them to hit double digits, and I would like to try various different ties. You know, the tie of 2, tie of 3, tie of 4. 5-way tie if we can do it. Yeah, I feel like I've seen some stuff about I think that I've seen a lot of bickering about those methods not being very performant. I did, and now I'm going to abandon that. I'm going to, I don't think I need the index. I'm going to rely on the string matching. As much as it bugs me. Okay, another poll coming up. And if we could get a tie in there or some ties or whatever, that'd be great. And we can just try this a few times. Okay. Looks like I'm getting test 2 with 7 votes as the winner. Does that sound right? Now, there is still this problem where I'm not waiting for Twitch to actually finish the poll. So sometimes it's going to be right only for the data that I'm receiving, but not actually what you guys saw. So that if we run into that, we run into it. Okay. Here comes another. Okay, this time the winner was test 1 with 4 votes. I mean, I don't even need to do that. I could just turn Twitch off and then just set the numbers to whatever I want them to be. But I'm a big believer in also testing this real environment flow of data in and out, and that it functions. All right. Winner was test 1 with 4 votes. But it was between test 1 and test 4. So that seems within the parameters. Another one coming at you. Okay. Possibilities were test 4 with 4 votes and test 2 with 4 votes. Winner was test 4 with 4 votes. I think we're working here. Let's do a let's try a 5-way tie. This probably won't be terribly informative. I think a 3, 4, and 5-way tie are the most interesting ones to look at this point. To be honest, if just nobody voted, that's a 5-way. Nailed it. Cool. Yeah, it brought all 5 into the winner's circle. It shows test 2 with 0 votes. Y'all nailed it. First try. Speed run. Ipa, thank you for the biddies. I did want to try double digits just to make sure there wasn't any weirdness, but since we're using filter now, I don't think that there will be. Well, no, actually, I'm just using a normal JavaScript sort. I think it should be fine, but let's try, yeah, like everybody pile all your votes into whatever one. Number 4. Everybody vote 4. And just try to get over 10 votes in there. 10 or more. Nailing it. Actually, no, this wasn't a great test. I think we need votes in other ones as well. But one of them over... Because, like, obviously test 4 won, because it was 29 versus all zeros. So let's do the same thing. Prefer 4, but try to get random votes into the other ones as well. I don't have any real reason to think that this shouldn't work, but I just want to, you know, make sure. Yep, it did fuck up. I guess there's something I don't know about sort that I need to figure out. So I have an array of just numbers, and sort came out with 0, 1, 1, 11, 5. No, it's real numbers. So I don't understand how that's what sort decided to do. It really should not be treating them as strings. They are 100% numbers. They are not strings. It assumes strings? Well, this tells you how often I use sort. JavaScript sort numbers. What the fuck? That's part of my search. How to sort integers correctly. By default, the sort method sorts elements alphabetically. Why? To sort numerically, just add a new method that handles numeric sorts. Just write your own. Gotcha. Good old A minus B. I would not have imagined that I would have had to do this myself. You would think that sort would look at what the fucking type is. Okie dokie. Just a moment, please. I'm glad you see? Assumptions. Don't be making no assumptions. Because I was sitting here like, do we really need to test that? And I was thinking, nah, I was wrong. Well, this is even beyond the fucking... I mean, this feels separate to me. It feels like they went out of their way to just be like, oh yeah, we're just sort by alphabetically by default. Like, that's a situation where they could have... Like, I made sure to give it integers. Well, isn't that what filter's doing for you, Zick? Sort of. At any rate, now we're testing. So try to get 11 in type 4 or test 4, and then like ones in other ones. Sorry, I didn't give you really much heads up. Okay, cool. Yay! Nailed it. 001311 was the sort we got this time. So that should be good. I can't think if there's anything else that ought to be tested, but I don't want to assume. But if not, then I'm probably going to wrap the stream because I don't think there's really anything else interesting. It's all from here, just me writing the handling of, you know, now that we have our answer, what do? I'm afraid I did. I'm afraid I did, Zick, and that is a curse. Man, I've really got a barking ass dog that barks. Hey, Mr. Barking ass dog that barks. Choo choo. Chibbity choo, come here, bud. Did you bring your hedgehog? Did you bring your little hedgehog? You brought a friend for the journey? What you barking at, bud? So yeah, I'd say probably good to go here. Thank you for helping me again think through this stuff. It should now just be a matter of actually using these results. So many thanks as always, my friends. I'm gonna roll on out of here. I will be back tonight and we'll be doing Scream a Day. We'll be continuing Scream a Day and continuing Shadows of Rose. That's the plan. So until then, y'all, have a lovely day.